Steamy temperatures getting ready to lead to additional rounds of heavy rain producing storms. We'll track those in a moment.
We are tracking breaking news. The case against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is now over. The details on the newly issued ruling coming up.
And Laurel County law enforcement officials are training for officer down scenarios with the memory of the Dallas police shootings still in mind.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. Amber Philpott and Andrea Walker reporting it feels like summer out there. It's hot, it's humid, and it is downright sticky.
It really is. This is a live look at downtown Lexington. Let's head now to Chris Bailey for a check of the weather.
Yeah, dealing with a lot of that humidity that is out there today. Temperatures are about normal for this time of year, but again, the humidity is just absolutely off the charts today. And that's going to fire up some more thunderstorms. Had a little batch early today. Now it is a mix of sun and clouds. Nothing on our Defender radar network locally, but look to our west. Look at these big clusters of thunderstorms. Severe weather around Indianapolis. Severe weather, that big line of thunderstorms from Quincy, Illinois towards St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to watch those two clusters to perhaps impact parts of the Bluegrass State a little later this evening into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. That is ahead of a cold front that is on the way. That will arrive tomorrow with heavy rain producing showers and some thunderstorms out there. Hour by hour forecast, future radar. We could still fire up a scattered thunderstorm this evening, but look what happens as we get closer to midnight and into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. That big complex of storms out to our west begins to impact the region. But if you're out in the short term, outside of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, it is steamy, and then the storms begin to take over. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll track the potential for some more heavy rains.
Chris, thank you. Now to breaking news involving Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. A year-long legal battle over marriage licenses is now over.
Last month, Davis filed a motion in federal court to end her appeals over her refusal to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. WKYT's Monique Blair is at the live desk with reaction to the ruling that just came down. Monique?
Attorneys with the Liberty Counsel told us the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals granted the motion to drop her appeals, ending more than a year of court battles. Davis's attorney told me last month her appeal was no longer necessary because a new law accommodates her religious convictions. That bill, SB 216, removes the requirement for county clerks' names to be on marriage licenses in Kentucky. The bill passed unanimously by the legislature, and then it was signed by Governor Matt Bevin in April. Davis spent 5 days in jail last fall after she defied a federal judge's order to issue marriage licenses. Now, Davis's attorney Matt Staver called today's decisions by the Court of Appeals a final victory for his client. The ACLU of Kentucky also praised today's ruling, saying while the panel dismissed her appeals, the judges kept the contempt of court order against Davis on her record. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. The new law, which will not include county clerks on marriage licenses, will go into effect on Friday. 1 year ago today, deadly flash flooding devastated parts of eastern Kentucky. 4 people were killed. The Flat Gap community of Johnson County was one of the hardest hit areas where many homes were completely destroyed. Cleanup still continues a year later, and some of the devastation is still visible. We'll have reports on the recovery on WKYT News at 5. We are working on a number of other stories for you starting on 4:30.
Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Sam.
Good afternoon. It is Officer Helping Officer. Next month, the Laurel County Sheriff's Office will hold an event free of charge to help other law enforcement departments train for a worst-case scenario. With the memory of the Dallas police shootings fresh on his mind, Major Rodney Van Zant, a Laurel County Special Response Officer, is offering free officer down training to anyone in Kentucky law enforcement. It's training that many departments would not normally be able to afford.
The recent events is what really got me, and I mean, everybody wants to do something, you know, and I thought, how can I, you know, give back or do something to help somebody? I don't want to see it go on here. I want our guys to be ready.
Today he's training with his own team, the Laurel County Special Response Unit. Over and over, they practice returning fire to save a wounded officer. We'll have more on the training ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. It was a simple gesture that went a long way for law enforcement officers in Campton today. After a very tough week for officers around the country, the Wolfe County Health and Rehabilitation Center served officers a free meal this afternoon to say thank you for all they do for the community. We'll hear from the organizers and officers who took part in the act of kindness coming up on WKYT at 5:30. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Andrea and Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. It is day 3 of the SEC Football Media Days down in Birmingham.
The Cats took their turn before 2,500 members of the media this afternoon. Our Rob Bromley has details.
Well, Mark Stoops and his team hopeful of turning the UK program this season and making a bold trip for the first time since 2010. Early this afternoon, Stoops arriving to make his appearance at SEC Media Days and talk about what is ahead for the fall. He had 3 players with him: running back JoJo Kemp, linebacker Courtney Love, and center John Toth. The last 2 seasons, the Cats have not been able to finish, going 5-7. This year, Stoops hopes to get over the hump.
It goes back to the training, to everything we've done from the end of the season last year to the start of the season this year and throughout that second half that you're talking about. Part of it goes to that word that I'm talking about, and that capacity to train more, to concentrate longer, to be able to handle those things. We can't be a fragile football team. We've got to be physical enough and be strong enough mentally to handle the stresses of this league.
And we will have much more coming up at 5 as Dick Gabriel reports from down in Birmingham. The Cats are making their appearance at SEC Media Days.
Thanks, Rob. It's getting closer. The Cats will report for fall practice on August 4th.
Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. Donald Trump could announce his running mate anytime between now and Friday, and his appearance in Indiana today is fueling more speculation about his choice.
Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton chose a historical monument in Illinois to address racial issues in America. Craig Boswell has the latest from the White House.
Hillary Clinton called for unity while addressing race relations and the recent deadly violence across the country.
And in times like these, we need a president who can help pull us together, not split us apart.
Clinton's topic and location are not a coincidence. The old State House in Springfield, Illinois, is where Abraham Lincoln delivered his famous House Divided speech. Clinton said her Republican rival is divisive and dangerous.
It is built on stoking mistrust and pitting American against American.
Just days before the beginning of the Republican convention, Donald Trump is spending extra time vetting running mates. Trump summoned his family to Indiana to spend more time with Governor Mike Pence Wednesday, one of the top names on Trump's vice presidential shortlist.
Nothing was offered, nothing was accepted, but we had a great conversation about the country.
Pence and Trump campaigned together Tuesday evening.
You'll be calling up Mike Pence. I don't know whether he's going to be your governor or your vice president. Who the hell knows?
Recent national polls show Trump and Clinton are now in a virtual tie in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, but Clinton holds a double-digit lead in Colorado.
Newt Gingrich and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie have also been on the campaign trail with Trump and are considered to be among his top choices.
Why millennials are saying goodbye to credit cards and how they're using their smartphones to save money. That's ahead in Money Watch.
And Ashley Madison tries to win back users by changing its tagline.
Well, welcome back into WKYT. Some employees at JP Morgan Chase are getting a raise. That begins today's Money Watch.
CEO Jamie Dimon says 18,000 tellers, customer service employees, and other workers will see a little more in their paycheck over the next 2 years. He says the bank will raise its minimum pay from $10.15 an hour to up to $16.50, depending on market conditions and location.
The website Ashley Madison is dropping its slogan, "Life is short, have an affair." The company is now going with "Find Your Moment." It's part of an effort to rebrand as a dating site. The move comes nearly a year after a security breach exposed data on millions of members. The CEO of Ashley Madison's parent company says close to 45% of Ashley Madison members are single, over 50% are attached, and they are interested in a wide range of experiences. The service also got rid of its logo showing a wedding ring next to pictures of people holding a finger to their lips, alluding to secret extramarital affairs.
Kentucky soft drink Ale 81 is celebrating its 90th anniversary today. In honor of the anniversary, the company will be hosting an ice cream social for its employees. The gift shop will also be selling limited edition posters featuring a timeline of the classic Ale 8 bottle. The gift shop will also be bringing back a popular t-shirt from the 80s featuring a squirrel. I haven't seen that. Fans can buy both at the LA gift shop on Carroll Road in Winchester on the company's website.
Happy anniversary, I guess birthday too.
There you go, both. More and more young people are saying no to credit cards. A new report finds more than 60% of millennials don't own one.
As Kenneth Craig reports, they're also embracing new technology to transfer money and pay rent.
It's 1524.
Great, thank you so much.
21-year-old Maggie Smith uses her debit card for everything. She doesn't have a credit card, and neither does her older brother Charlie.
How you doing? Why should I have a credit card? I don't need it.
And you feel the same way?
Yeah, there's definitely no need for it.
They're part of a younger generation that's steering clear from buying with credit. According to a survey by Bankrate.com, only about 1 in 3 millennials has a credit card.
Millennials, by and large, they have a greater aversion to debt than we've seen among previous generations.
Millennials are also changing the way they pay each other, and many of them are using their smartphones to do it.
That was $14, so do you just want to Venmo me 7?
Yeah, sure, that works.
Like Maggie and Charlie, they're more often using peer-to-peer payment apps like Venmo.
It's so easy. I mean, I just click on my app and click an amount, choose a recipient, and send it. Boom, it's there.
There are a number of other high-tech payment options like Google Wallet and Splitwise that helps users easily split bills or rent with friends.
All right, I sent it over your way.
Even with the new technology, the survey shows millennials may become more interested in credit cards as they get older.
I think if I had a credit card, I would consider myself a full adult in some weird way. So, yeah, I think a credit card maybe in a few years.
But for now, Maggie's staying away from credit. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
That survey also found that credit card use does increase with age, and about 68% of people who are 65 and older own a credit card.
It's a balancing act to be the best campers ever. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Pepper Hill Farm today.
Hey, the balancing act today between some steamy temperatures and a lot of humidity, but thunderstorms are going to really try to balance things out. We'll show you when those arrive up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
It is a little on the steamy side, to say the least, out there today. It is feeling more like July after a stretch of cooler than normal weather out there. Look at our sky in Lexington right now. We are dealing with a mix of sun and some clouds, and those temperatures that are seasonal. Not bad, 88 degrees. The bad part comes from the humidity that is at 61%. So it's only 88, but it feels like 96 degrees right now in Lexington. 88 is a popular number, maybe sprinkling in a 90 here or there, but you throw the heat into the mix. That heat index is into the mid and the upper 90s into much of central and eastern Kentucky. So the heat index for Lexington, 96. Remember, that's the combination of the humidity and the actual temperature. So, yep, we are steaming it up big time. Defender Radar Network popping a few thunderstorms this morning. I think we get 1 or 2 more as the evening goes on, but look what is lurking out here to our west. From Indianapolis toward parts of St. Louis, some big-time severe thunderstorms that are ongoing. Now, that's where the favored corridor is this evening for severe weather. The actual slight risk gets to the Ohio River, far northern Kentucky, far western parts of the area. Much smaller risk across the Bluegrass region, and that continues as we go through the evening. Tomorrow, I think that risk will be extended a little farther toward the south and the southeast. At 24-hour planner, it's another warm one tomorrow. We'll be into the upper 80s, flirting with 90 degrees. But then some thunderstorms will try to crash the party as well. And those thunderstorms tomorrow can be a bit on the strong side, especially as we get deeper into the afternoon. So storms are on the increase tomorrow, and yes, some could be strong. Not going to rain all day. So watch for a scattered storm on Friday. I'm really torn on what to do with Friday into Saturday. Southern Kentucky, you're going to have the best chance of rain. I think area-wide, you can still get it on some scattered storms. Temperatures on Saturday are going to be better. Humidity is going to come down a little bit. Still, though, we run the risk, he says, for a scattered storm here or there. Hour-by-hour forecast this evening through tonight. Chance for some boomers to come our way. Better chances as we get deeper into the day tomorrow, with temperatures that will spike and then crash when any thunderstorm begins to work on into town. Front is going to check up on Friday. Where does that happen? Does it happen down in Tennessee? Does it happen across southern Kentucky? That'll be the determining factor on just how much in the way of showers and thunderstorms we get later Friday and into Saturday. But as of now, this model suggests another little wave of some thunderstorms out there Friday and into Saturday. 85 Saturday, some isolated stuff around. Small chance on Sunday. Then as we go into next week, those temperatures will begin to steam up. I think once we get beyond next Tuesday and Wednesday, we may see the hottest conditions of the year so far by the end of next week. Right now, let's check on traffic. Here's Officer Don.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. A couple of things happening, including a crash on the inner loop of the Circle. This was just past Winchester Road that police are working. Shouldn't be a big factor getting past that one the next few minutes. As far as the drive times go, should be good to go to Nicholasville, less than 15 minutes. And so far to Versailles Road across the county line, things are steady. Now back to you in the studio.
Don, thank you. Horseback riding, swimming, archery, games, arts and crafts, the list goes on and on over activities offered at one Central Kentucky day camp.
And our Deanne Stevens is out and about today. She joined us from Pepper Hill Farm Day Camp, where she is a happy camper today. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, WKYT. Okay, so we are trying to, what are we trying to do here? Come on, we got to go this way.
We're trying to balance to get this center.
This evidently, I'm going to let you guys keep practicing that. It's called the Whale Watch. Eddie Burton is with us. Eddie, how many years have you been here at Pepper Hill?
23.
Okay, what are we trying to do here?
We're trying to balance, this is called our Whale Watch, and we're trying to balance it up. And once they get it balanced, they sing a camp song. So as long as it's balanced, but once it touches the ground, they have to start over.
There's a trick to that, obviously. Kiddos having fun here at Pepper Hill, part of the challenge course. Dave Mahan is with us. Dave, challenge course is huge for the kids here at camp, I understand.
It is huge because it's a group thing, most of them, and it requires everybody to, it's an inner thing to where we have spotters that help each other out, and the groups, they have to work together to get through the thing. So it promotes a lot of group unity and a whole lot of confidence in the kids when they do it.
And team bonding, from what I understand.
They do a lot of bonding with this, because if you have to trust the people that are over here that are spotting you, you also on the Whale Watch over there, you have to trust those people to do what the counselor is telling them to do. So it instills a whole lot of trust in people that are, makes a group tighter, so now they'll trust each other in everything.
Many different activities offered here. This is just one of them. David, what are we doing on this one?
Well, this is the Tensor Traverse. Kids are practicing balance and trying to get across this wire while holding the rope.
With the spotters, I'm reassured by.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, you guys have other activities. Dave, what are they?
We have lots of activities out here. We've got horseback, we have games, we have arts and crafts, we have a thing called nature. They do a lot of things, like they're making walking sticks right now. We have canoeing and paddle boating. And of course, camp wouldn't be camp without swimming. Most important, though, one of the things that our calling card is we have horseback, and kids get to ride horses every day, and it's just a fun activity.
Okay, another fun activity is this thing called the Blob, and we are taking on the Blob coming up here at 4:50. You want to stay tuned for that. How can folks get more info? What's your website?
Our website is pepperhillkids.com. You can go on there, and there's information, there's pictures, there's things that they can click on to make them to get back to where they can get the information on it. They've got links. They've got everything. There's just so much.
Get registered there, right? Yes. That's pepperhillkidskidz.com. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Stay tuned for the Blob. It's coming up.
Trading in 4 wheels for 2 could put you on the track for a life free of diabetes. Details on the new research coming up in Better Living.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $311 million, and Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $20 million.
Now it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Bicycling may be a key to keeping diabetes away. Danish researchers followed more than 50,000 people between the ages of 50 and 65. They found those who regularly rode a bike and had 20% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And scientists say they have figured out why artificial sweeteners can increase appetite. Researchers say in Australia chronic consumption of artificial sweeteners fool the brain to expect the energy that comes from natural sugar. When it doesn't come, the brain demands more calories to make up the difference. Finally, Denny's is the latest chain to embrace America's appetite for fresh ingredients. The company will use fresh buttermilk and eggs in its pancake mix instead of pre-made powdered mix. Denny's says the pancakes will be 50% more fluffy. Now let's head to Chris for another check of the weather.
Fluffy a little better, I guess, huh? We look outside right now. We've got some fluffy clouds that are showing up across central and eastern Kentucky, and eventually some of those can spit out at least a thunderstorm or two. It is warm. It is humid. Heat index is what's really getting us. It feels like it is so much hotter than it actually is. A lot of mid and upper 80s showing up for now across central and eastern Kentucky. Some of those fluffy clouds are in the distance. Isolated shower thunderstorm as the evening goes on, but many of us, Andrea, will remain on the dry side. So some good news there if you're out this evening.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. But it's coming back later this week, isn't it?
Later tonight, tomorrow, we'll get more in the way of thunderstorms. And, oh, wait, some of them could be strong. You've heard that before, haven't you?
I've heard that a few times. The news is just now getting started. Here's Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott with what we're working on at 4:30.